Well, I guess it's time. Hi. No, I'm not doing them all at once. How's it going? It's Order 42 time. Have you ever had a day where you're just tired all day, even though you got plenty of sleep? You're just like, That's what today was like. But I got a lot done. Like I got a lot done. Like a lot. But I still feel like I didn't do much. But anyway, how's it going? It's time for the show. Thank you. Cosmo was number 1 today. Said nice thumbnail, and that was an interesting one. I just I was sitting here and I was going like that, and I just took 2 pictures and then kind of blended them. It's kind of funny, made me laugh. So, Bonobo Juice is here, Rachel is here, and Ricky is here. Welcome. You know, yesterday was the hangout over on Discord. Hey, I'd let you guys know, but it was kind of in the middle of the day, and that's kind of unfair. But at the same time, I did it because, you know, Rufus the Red, who you've seen many, many times here, said, hey, I'm off Sunday and Monday. And I'm like, well, cool. We'll just do it on Monday, because I can't do it on Sunday because we're doing things with the boys. And he didn't show up. I was like, okay. But hey, it's a thing. And no, I don't blame anybody for not coming. Like Rachel, I don't blame you for not showing up or anything. But it's like, you know, what's the deal? You say, hey, I'm off on Monday, and then you don't show up. I don't know. I'm just playing around. It's all good. And Bucho, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Here he is. Still standing in the same spot. Again, this is a live shot from New Zealand. I don't know how he just continues to stand there. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing stuff. I said I was working Monday and I showed up 3 times. You did. You did. Is Nanner Pudding from good old grandma? Well, okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal with the thing tonight. So I got a ton of liquid yesterday. A ton. Okay, I got like 9 bottles. Anyway, so the first one is the Apple Jacks flavor. And I had 2 different flavors from this. I mean, this is the same people that did the Jam Monster stuff. The first one I had was pretty good. The second one was like awful. Like literally pour it down the drain awful. Okay? It was terrible. I didn't pour it down the drain because that's not good. So I'm worried about this. I have had an Apple Jacks flavor before, and the first time I had one, I was like, man, this is really good. Like, it's perfectly balanced, all that kind of stuff. The second one I had was way too cinnamony. That's right. That's a word. Cinnamony. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about this one. The Monster people are not known for their subtlety in a lot of cases. So I'm afraid it's going to be too cinnamony. But then we got the dragon fruit, strawberry, and cream, the free noms. I've never tried this before, but it sounded good. I like dragon fruit, and I like strawberry, and I like cream. What's going on? So, you know, hey, I do. Beer Chasers, what's going on? Good to see you. And the last one on the list is Mighty Vapors Bangin' Bananas. And I was like, when I saw the title, I was like, is this just a banana vape? And then they said it's vanilla pudding, banana, vanilla wafer type. And I'm like, oh, okay. You should have said, should have some kind of pudding on there. So that's what we're doing. And then we've got this special guy that I mixed up today. What I hear is that when you're shaking liquid like this, you're supposed to make eye contact. All creepily, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we're going to try this one later on too. I've got 2 setups ready to go. We're going to do the thing. But yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. But it's a thing. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm way down the rabbit hole on the UFO stuff. I've been watching all kinds of stuff. I've been reading stuff. I need help is what I need. I need help. Okay? Just I need help. And hopefully you'll be seeing something from the boys over there doing the thing. That's what we were doing on Sunday. We were doing some filming. So hopefully there's more fun stuff on the way soon. Um so yeah, I mean hey, that's basically what I've been doing. I've been watching a whole lot of movies either. And hey, look who it is. It's Rufus the Red, who, oh, I'm off on Monday, and then doesn't show up for the hangout. I see how it is. I see how it is, Rufus. I'm just messing with you, Rufus, okay? I know you just walked in the door. You came in, hey, how's it going? What the hell, man? I know. But hey, it's a thing. Yeah, we did it yesterday. It was on Sunday, but then I found out, oh, shnikes. Crap, I'm doing stuff with Billy and Jay on Sunday and other guests. But yeah, so I had to change it. And I thought, well, Rufus is off on Monday too. Let's do it on Monday. So we did it Monday at 2 p.m. And you didn't show up. You could have been there. It's okay, Rufus. It's all right. We'll do it again. And we'll have a good old time. It was actually really fun yesterday. We had Ninjinzu there for like the whole thing, which usually he comes in right as we're about to stop. So he was there for the whole thing. Leon was there. Ricky was in and out. Not Gary was there. Wraith was there. It was just fun. It was a good old time. And Caesar was there. Caesar was there too. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun talk. Just hanging out, doing the thing. I told some stories about some of the filming and stuff. It was fun. It was good. You'll try hard. Well, I understand you're not a huge Discord guy. You know, I get that. What happened to the old vape juice you were collecting? Didn't Rufus want it? I mean, I don't know if he wants this. This is a lot, man. Now, what this is, you have to understand, okay? This is not just all like like a bottle of liquid. This is some flavoring too. Do I dare smell it? I'm not gonna vape it. Not gonna vape it. But it is a lot of this is it's old. It's probably peppery. It's weird. I can pick out specific like smells. Like there's definitely a lot of strawberry. But then there's like a bubble gum. There's a tobacco. It's awful is what this smells like. So let's close that up. It's strong. It is really well, it should be strong. It's a bunch of flavoring in there. It doesn't smell, that's the thing. It doesn't smell bad. It's when you start really taking a whiff and really taking it in, and it's like, okay, that's a lot of different things going on. There was banana in there too. It was gross. But yeah, you totally would not want that. No. How long will that last? What do you mean? I basically just need to dump the rest of the bottles in there and then start doing the whole kitty litter thing, in a Ziploc bag. It's supposed to be the way that you dispose of e-liquid, right? You're not supposed to pour it down the drain because there's nicotine in it. I mean, that stuff gets filtered out anyway, but better safe than sorry, and it's weird. How much would it take to vape a tank of that? Way too much. Way too much that nobody has enough money for that. No. God. It was so bad. So bad. But I will tell you this. I have got to figure out something. Um, we're getting to that point where it's been almost 4 years, right? That I quit my job. And I got to figure out a way to make some money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to figure out something. Uh, because, look, I love you guys. I love doing this, all that stuff. But this is, making $13 a month or whatever it is. Maybe less. Uh, yeah, probably need to find something to do, where I can make some money. So that's what I've been trying to think of the last couple of days is what can I do? Can I sell something? Can I, what can I do? What can I get into? What can I learn that would be whatever? So I'm going to be trying to figure that out. So I'm just going to say I plan on keeping things regular here as much as possible, but if I have to go get a job, then that's what I'll do, you know? Because the fact of the matter is she works a lot. And, when she comes home and I'm sitting here, I'm either watching a movie or, chatting with you guys or whatever, it starts to eat away at you a little bit, that you're having to drive, 45 minutes to get to work and working all day and then come home and I'm playing, you know what I mean? So we got to figure something out. No porn. No, nobody wants to see this. Trust me. Nobody wants to see that. Takes me like 4 months to make 100 to get paid. I know. Yeah, and she's the thing is she does really well, The fact of the matter is though, it's not what she wants to do. She wants to do something else, And only Rob's 42. Nah. No, I'm gonna figure something out. I just gotta figure out what it's gonna be. Whether it's I either go get a part-time job or I maybe try to figure out if there's some things that I can create to sell or something. It's to that point, you know? So, yeah, salt and what? No. No. No, Rufus. Not on no salt and pepper in the Can you be someone bigger's editor? Here's the thing. I am not good at editing. I'm just not. I look at the kind of things that, like for example, I mean just Game Chasers, you look at, beat 'em ups, you look at RGT85, you look at I don't know, who is a Phoenix Resale, right? You look at those channels and the way that the energy that they have, I don't know how to edit that way. I don't think that way, So like mine are very to the point and that's it. So I don't think editing is going to be in the cards for me. It's just not a skill that I really have. Now, creating maybe some, like digital assets for people or creating things that I could sell for I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing that yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. It's something that April actually said. She goes, "You're really good at some of that stuff, and I guarantee you some of that stuff would sell." So I'm thinking about that and trying to figure out, okay, like how many would I need to create? What would it take? Maybe that's something that I just start working on. Did I say hi to Carbonite? Carbonite, hi? Hi, Carbonite? I don't know if I did. But hey, hi, Carbonite. But yeah, it's just a thing, and it makes sense, right? I've been throwing as much as I can into actually hold on a second. Let me check this. Okay, it's not done yet. I restarted my computer and it started a backup, and it's still going. 78.9%. So I hope nothing weird is happening, or it doesn't look bad or something. But usually when I try to not do a backup when I'm streaming, you know what I mean? Because it's all done on one computer, you know? Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, I've determined red and white is strawberries and cream if black and white is salt and pepper. That's true. That's true. Been trying to learn DaVinci Resolve. Hasn't been going well. Want to crank out some YouTube vids. I mean, DaVinci Resolve is great because it's free. You know, that there's that free option to learn on. All I use is iMovie, which is built into Apple, right? That's all I use. I've been thinking about getting, what do you call it? Final Cut Pro for the Mac, right? It's typically the Mac editing software, the like one of the best. A lot of big guys use it. In fact, I think GameSack uses Final Cut Pro. But what that would allow me to do is to be able to do more graphics at the same time. It would allow me to layer more videos on top of each other, which I think would be really fun because iMovie is limited to how many layers you can have. It's just a lot that I think it would do really well for me, or I would do really well with it. But it's also like, I don't know, $400, $500, you know? So I'd have to purchase the software. Of course, there's Premiere, but getting Premiere means there's a monthly fee. And I already pay a monthly fee for Photoshop because I can't do anything in any of these regular editing programs. I learned on Photoshop, and Photoshop is what I know, and I can crank stuff out in Photoshop. So that's what I'm kind of thinking, is maybe I can generate some stuff in Photoshop, you know, do all the things, make a website, and then start selling it. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah. Let's see. And Gary. Welcome, Gary. Good to see you. Let's see. Wait. Yours are real. I love that you don't fake high energy. Yeah, I just know that it wouldn't be me, you know? And I like it when it's more to the point and not like a bunch of tangents every 5 seconds, you know? And that's the thing that I don't like about that style of editing. And I'm talking about, like, you know, some of the big channels, right? Billy doesn't do that. But even what Billy does is way above what I do. Way above. His editing is just, it's perfect. It's great. So I don't know if the editing would be a thing, but Batteries Plus might have some part-time spots over there. I don't know, but it's easy money. Yeah, I have Batteries Plus right down the street. See, that's the thing. I could do that, or I could spend that time, because it's not like, here's the thing. It's not like we're hurting for money, really. It's more that she wants to be able to maybe take a position where she's not having to work so much, so she can focus on her creative stuff. And if I can supplement, because really I'm not bringing anything to the table right now, you know? I mean, yeah, we're working on stuff. We're doing things. Got the script going. All that stuff is happening, but it's not generating any money. And that's the reality of artists. I do that because I don't consider myself an artist, not yet, but it's like 4 years of basically, you know, money that I didn't generate. So it's a thing, and I totally understand it. And it wasn't like, hey, I'm tired of you sitting on your ass and not doing anything, playing video games all day. I'm not doing that. But I need to be able to generate some money. I need to be able to, here's the thing. Instead of focusing so much on a YouTube channel that's only bringing me so much per month, right? Why not keep doing that, but do some other things as well? You know, maybe pull back a little bit on maybe do one review a week keep doing the short. The shorts are, look, I gotta be honest with you. The shorts are pretty quick. I can put together shorts really, really fast because it's just a fun, hey, it's this thing and I like it. Hey, it's on the shelf. You know what I mean? And then I put in a trailer or whatever, edit it down a little bit if it has to be, and it's good to go. The other ones take a lot of time because I get really into the making of the movie. I spend a lot of time watching all that stuff, and then I try to bring in video clips and all that stuff and graphics and things. It takes a lot more time to do a regular video. So I don't know what the thing is. I just want you guys to know that I'm gonna be branching out a little bit. We'll just see what happens. Because here's the thing. As much as I love doing this show takes a lot less time now than it used to. Because I was, getting pages of content ready. And now, since you guys are asking questions and being a part of the show, I don't have to do that, which is kind of a fun thing. It's more of a hangout show instead of a here's stuff that I'm presenting to you. And I still kind of do that, but it's fun. So Da Vinci, if you want to jump in my DMs, I'd be down to help Carbonite. See, that's awesome. That would be great. I'd love to see what Carbonite has to offer. I think that'd be cool. Rob Solo audio files coming back. I mean, maybe not. It just depends. And Chris, what's going on? Good to see you. Do what Billy and Jay do. Donation to play games or music or play or maybe watch some videos. I mean, I could do that, but I also feel weird doing that because it's never been a thing. So I'm kind of like, well, number one, I don't have I mean, what would we watch? I mean, I guess we could watch, Game Chaser stuff, but that's weird because it's not the same. And I also don't typically like playing other people's videos. Not that I wouldn't mind having Billy or Jay stuff on my channel or anything like that, but it just seems weird. I don't know how I would do that. And music I can't really do. I mean, Jay does it, sure, but his streams also get shut down regularly, and he doesn't save his streams. I like my streams to be something that, people can go back and watch or whatever if they miss it. Hold on a second. My backup is done. I'm just doing the thing over here. So just give me a second. Just give me a second here. By the way, while that's doing that, here's what's on the thing, okay? So you've got the Apple Jacks flavor. You've got the strawberry dragon fruit cream, which sounds awesome. And bangin' bananas, which is a banana pudding. I'm kind of scared of all of them. Just saying. And right now, Nanner Pudding and Apple Jacks are tied. 10 votes. Because here's the thing. If you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote. Funky. Learn that from Grim Green. It's true. It's all true. So just make sure that if you want to vote, you get that vote in. Because otherwise, you won't get to do it. Why is this taking so long? Come on now. Come on. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. All good. All good. But Gary, I appreciate the thought. I would need to think about what we would do. Maybe it's like, hey, $2 for a clip of Switched On or something. I don't know. Photoshop, I use Affinity. I've never even heard of Affinity. I learned on Photoshop. Isn't Adobe the one that screwed Billy over with the Blu-ray software? Yeah, I mean, Adobe made, I can't remember the name of the software, but Adobe makes a lot of things, right? Photoshop is kind of like the standard when it comes to photo editing. Then you've got Illustrator, which is a vector artwork program. You got Audition, which is audio. You have Premiere, which is video editing. I can't remember the name of that software, but it's just that they stopped supporting it because physical media is dying and nobody's burning to Blu-rays anymore. So there's no point in Adobe continuing to support software that a very, very, very small piece of a small group of people were using. I totally understand it. It sucks that he created all that stuff in that program and then that program is no longer supported and doesn't work right. I get it. It sucks. But from a business standpoint, I kind of get it. But Adobe makes a ton of stuff. But Photoshop is like kind of like, again, it's like the standard photo editing standard. And I learned to make stuff in Photoshop, and that's what I used to do. I used to do a little bit of graphics stuff, concepting for, I guess you'd call it, now you'd call it user, what do they call it? User experience, UX. I'm totally out on the loop on that stuff though. I don't pay attention to design anymore. I quit finding fun in it. You know, I hated it. It got to the point where, because what you do for a client, right? A client. What you do is you say, okay, here's what we kind of want. Go off and make something. Okay, so you go off and make something. And I spent a lot of time on the first thing. And I go, I really like that. I think that's really good. Then I crank out a bunch of other ones. And eventually, what would, what's the word I'm looking for? What would inevitably happen is that they would pick one that I just threw together in minutes and sucked. And the one that I thought was awesome, they never picked. So then I'd be stuck trying to make this piece of crap design work. And it sucks. And I hated that kind of work. And I hated being continually told how to design something when they clearly don't know how to do that. And it was just I didn't find the joy in it. And any joy that I did find in doing that kind of stuff was completely gone and completely eradicated, really, from these people that didn't know what they were talking about. So, you know. And Phil, welcome, Phil. Good to see you. Vegas 17. I don't even know what that is, Carbonite. Don't even know. I've never even tried video editing besides the little stuff on your phone. You know, the funny thing is, though, that's what's so great about iMovie is that it simplifies a lot of things for you. Now, some of the stuff that I do is a little more advanced when it comes to iMovie, but it's not hard. It's really not hard. It's get in there, mess around, do some stuff. You go, okay, I want a little transition between this video clip and this video clip. And there's a little space there. And you just go to the transitions and go, I want a cool, you know, camera iris wipe. Just drag it into that little space and it makes the transition. It's super simple. And you say, well, I want it to be quicker than that. So you right click on it and you say, make it 1 second instead of 2 seconds. I mean, it's super simple. If you can do it on your phone, you can totally do it on your computer. At least with iMovie. And I'm sure there's a Windows equivalent out there. What is this? Oh. So anyway, yeah. You should try it. It's fun. It is fun, but it's just not something that I know really well, and I can't do the kind of stuff that they do with the motion graphics and stuff like that. I don't know any of that. And so I'd have to learn After Effects or something to be able to do that. And I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. And I have to learn. And here's the thing. I don't have this huge drive to want to do that because I know that's not where my, what do you call it? I'm not as interested in doing that. You know what I'm saying? So April said the same thing though. She said, why don't you edit for somebody else? And I'm like, because I suck. And I don't, that's not my specialty. So yeah. I wish I had the chat rate you have, even though I try not to fill the chat. I don't know what you mean. Is it just because we have people chatting and talking and stuff and things? Twitch was like that for me. I just Twitch was kind of, I mean, it wasn't dead, but it wasn't like it is over here. YouTube just I do so much better on YouTube than I did on Twitch. Got some crappy Xbox games I can give you that you can sell because Xbox sucks. Hey, well, thank you, Gary. But no, I mean I have things that I definitely could monetize. I'll say that. I'm not as interested in that. I'm interested in doing something for money. Now wait a minute. 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 No twerking. no no skin being shown or anything like that. I'm saying, is there something that I can create that can make some money? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Today I was given a complete series Madman Blu-ray collection. Never watched the show. I've never seen it either. Branch out to more podcasts with you, Rachel. I mean that could be a thing. But see, here's the thing. And this is not a what do you call it? This is not a, what do you call that? I'm not saying that podcasts aren't worthwhile, but you have to be pretty big to start generating the kind of money that I could create or I could generate doing other things. You know what I'm saying? This isn't something that, what I'm wanting to do is to try to make some money so that she can take a job making less so she can create her stuff and maybe build her business, which she's really freaking talented, but she doesn't have the time to do it. So that's not exactly where I'm thinking. I'm thinking more of like maybe, like I said, graphics generation or something like that. I appreciate the thought though. Open a barcade. Oh, well, that's, yeah, I can just do that. Who does he look like, XQC? Strawberry dragon fruit cream sounds nice, but strawberries always hit or miss. See, I'm usually, strawberry is like my go-to. I love strawberry. Most strawberry stuff I love, but open a vape store, I'd have a good start. I mean, the only problem is vaping has moved in a completely different direction now. Like, it's not rebuildables. It's not this kind of stuff. It's this kind of stuff. And this is the only one I own, is this. And it's the, I mean, could I do it? Sure. But I would need money to start something like that up. I would love to do that though. It'd be kind of fun. Nana loves the banana. That's right. Affinity is $40, then you never have to pay again. You know what? Maybe I need to look at Affinity. I made the switch a few years ago. Only photo editing software I've used that's as competent as Photoshop. Okay. Interesting. Ninjinzu, you like that thumbnail? I tried so many to get off the subscription cycle of Adobe. Yeah, but again, since Photoshop is all I use, at least currently, it ends up being like, and it's something that both me and April can use, because as long as you're in the same like household, you can have two computers that have it. So that's kind of part of the benefit too, is it's almost like it's a subscription that we both can use. So 25 or 40 or something on sale for Affinity. It felt so low that it felt wrong, but the quality's there, just a little learning curve. Okay. I mean, that may be a thing. But see, now she wants to get into Illustrator. Because she wants to create stuff for, because I told you she bought a freaking laser that's like cutting stuff. And you have to, I think what you have to do is, I think in Illustrator you can create something and then export it to a certain file, and then that file can be read by the laser, and then it can make the design or whatever on. So anyway, that may be in our future, but not yet. What the hell is that? I want to be ninja. Ninjal. Want to chop, chow down, take chow down to Chinatown. Got sick of bootlegging photo stuff or using photo.net. So during the pandemic, Affinity was half off, so I jumped on it. Okay. Need to get a network going. I try not to talk as much as I would. ADHD monster. Hey. It's all right. Folks making things, podcasts, and say, hey, that could be really cool. Yeah, podcasts don't bring in very much money unless you've got sponsors. And that's really the thing, you know? And it's not like I'm totally against the idea. I just that's a long-term thing. And that takes a lot of time and a lot of work that energy could be spent doing, you know, at least from my perspective, that energy could be spent creating something that maybe, I don't know. And again, I don't mean to bring this up as a hey, you guys help me. It's nothing like that. I'm just, all I know is that it whatever ends up happening will probably affect the channel in some respect. And maybe, you know, there's plenty of channels that put out a video every 2 weeks or every, you know, 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. I like putting out regular content. I like being part of someone's routine. You know, I like that idea. You know, that, it's Monday afternoon. Rob's going to be putting up a video soon. Now, whether anybody thinks that way, I don't know, but it's what's in my head. And I try to make it for someone like me who I look forward to somebody releasing, you know, some of my favorite YouTubers. I look forward to them releasing a video on a certain day. So, and I'll watch it whatever it is. But that's, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's like that. But that's how it is with me. So, I only have so many talkie tickets on Rob's stream. Got to cash in before I pumpkin up. What? My podcast was doing well. Just grab another rock star, folks. Oh. Rob, it sounds like you don't have time to build something up. You need to start earning a wage ASAP. Is that right? I mean, it's... Yeah. I mean, I just need to start thinking that way, you know? And if it's like, for example, where is it? It's in, I think it's still in the box. So Kingdom of Heaven, right? Ridley Scott. It's like a 3.5 hour movie. There's 3 commentaries. So that's 3.5, the movie, times 3 different commentaries to watch, plus the however many hours of bonus features and all that stuff. So you're talking probably 2 days worth of just doing nothing but watching Kingdom of Heaven crap to do a review on it. Maybe that's not my best use of time. That kind of thing. Maybe I could be creating some, you know, backgrounds or whatever. Maybe I could create some stuff and throw it on Design by Humans. This was from Design by Humans, where you have different artists will create something and Design by Humans will pay you if someone buys your shirt. So maybe I could create a bunch of stuff and throw it out there and see what happens. I don't know. So, I refilled Views pods today. Love that once you crack them open. Totally refillable. Robert Rivera, what's going on? What's up? But yeah, I mean, it's just, I need to start thinking that way more. And it's something that honestly she probably should have said a long time ago. Because I've just been like, I've had my note, like I get focused. I get like laser focused on things. It's like, okay, it's Monday. That means I got to put out a video. I got to get shorts ready, you know, whether it's filming or editing or whatever. I got to do all that. So that's 6, 7, 8 hours worth of work right there. Then I got to get ready for today's stream. So I got to start looking at the news and all that stuff and see what's trending and things, what's going on, all that sort of thing. I got to get things ready. Like today, I rebuilt these 2 RDAs. I mean, all of that stuff, like the energy could be used in a different spot is all I'm trying to say. And again, I get laser focused on stuff. You know, on Tuesdays, it's like, okay, got to get all the things ready for the stream. Let's look at this. Oh, Today I was like, let's watch this video because I want to talk about this video on stream. So I got to watch this video, kind of take it in, all that kind of stuff. That was an hour and a half. So I mean, it's just stuff like that. Um, and then like when I was writing the script, so much of the week was spent, or so much of my time was kind of segmented away where I was like, okay, today, working on the script, you know, bam, all day, just sitting in here, whatever, take a little break, watch a YouTube video or something, and then get right back to it, you know, but none of that is generating money. So it's just one of those things that it's been almost 4 years, you know, so it's just a thing. Does your wife know the Ninja Turtles? Gary, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know them personally. She's no, I mean she loves the Ninja Turtles. When we went and saw the movie, she said this is my favorite movie of the year so far. So yeah, she definitely loves the Ninja Turtles. Language, sir, I have customers. Oh, what did I say? I don't even know what I said. I did think, hey, it's Tuesday. Wonder if Rob's going to be on tonight. So there you go. See? Bonobo juice. I mean, that's one of those things. It's just, I like that. I like to sort of, it's almost like, it's not training, but it's conditioning someone to go, hey, today's the day when that dude puts out the thing. And for me, it's like, if I'll tell you, every Sunday, I've got, in most cases, I get Phoenix Resale now because I like his. But Sunday morning, I have Happy Console Gamer. I have GameSack on most Sundays. Sunday mornings when I wake up, there it is. And then Sunday afternoons, I get Beard Meets Food. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I like the regularity. Being able to, I know what I'm doing Sunday morning. It's like Saturday morning cartoons, except it's stuff. But yeah. I don't worry about spelling once I'm comfortable. You can read bad spelling. I mean, I was going to say that, but you know, hey, you're smart guys. You can read nonsense. Exactly. I'm over here like, oh, it's Tuesday, time for 4042 live. Hey, see that I just think that's cool. And I think it's fun. And I don't know. It's okay to think that way. These lovely people's suggestions on regards to earning cash ASAP are terrible suggestions. Don't kill me, folks. Grab a job and you'll be okay. Well, and that it may end up being that where I'm just, hey, I'm going to go take a job at like Batteries Plus or something like that. Or here's the thing, I could go get my old job back, you know, my marketing job. Now, it wouldn't be contracted with the fruit company because that company has kind of moved on, I think. But I could go work with that company and get contracted to another big client. And it's something that I'm good at it. You know, I'm good at that. I don't like it, but I'm good at it. The problem is it's about an hour away. So yeah, you're working 8 hours, an hour for lunch, and then you got your hour on the way there, hour on the way back. You're talking 11 hours out of the day. I'm going to get home. I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be back to, you know, the old normal, which means that I probably won't have a whole lot of time to do this stuff. But that doesn't mean that if it comes to that, I'll do that. So, once the other movie gets going, you'll be in business again. Yeah. I mean, true, but we don't know when that's going to be. And here's the thing. I'm doing well, Robert. I see that. Thank you. And I hope you're doing well too. But it's like there's a lot going on still. You know, I don't know if you guys follow Billy on the Twitter/X. That's a whole thing. But anyway, we're still cranking that stuff out. I'm still making changes to ship lists. We're still finding errors, you know, where it's like, oh crap, none of these people have addresses. So Billy's pulling up the sheets again and going, okay, are the addresses there or were they just not captured in the first place? Okay, now we have to email those people and find out what their addresses are so we can get the stuff out to them. You know what I mean? It's still a thing, and it keeps going and going and going and going and going. And the thing is, for me, Billy, it's not that bad. For Billy, it's like that's all he's been doing, and it's wearing on him, you know? And I say that because once we get together, it's like, okay, we're here to record a thing so that I can put it out on the channel so the algorithm keeps up with Game Chasers. There's a reason for that. So taking the time to sit for like a whole day or whatever and sit there and go through the script, it's just not, it doesn't make sense right now. And I get that. And it's no big deal. But I know that it's going to take a while. ADHD is fun. Yes, it is. I know you'll have a figure in your head on what you need to take home, right? And you have a ton of skills, hit the job market, employees will be lucky to have you. Well, I appreciate that, Phil. But here's the thing. I'm older, which means I was making this much money, and to do the same job, you could probably have a younger person who is willing to make this much money to do that same job. Are we going to be fighting for that job? You know what I mean? I was making pretty good money when I left. For somebody who doesn't have a college education, I was doing pretty well. Okay, I was doing well, you know. So I just don't know. I haven't tried to look or anything like that, but I haven't even reached out to those guys. But they said, seriously, if you want to get back into it after your movie thing, just let me know. We'll find you a place. And maybe they've moved up and I can get a better job anyway. But again, we're not at that point yet. We'll see. But not as experienced. Yes, but most companies, at least that I work with, don't give a crap about experience. They want a warm body in there that they can push around. So now the good thing is, here's the other good thing. The company I used to work for contracted with the fruit company. Okay. The fruit company decides we're going to take this core team and we're going to move it to another company. Right. So I moved with that company. This company's still there. This company's still there. But now, as far as I know, Apple's still with this company. I'd go back to this company. I said the fruit company's name. Damn. I'd go back to this company. But that's an hour away and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, that's a last resort kind of thing, honestly. I hope they're not watching right now, but it's not what I want to do. I want to do something more creative. This is literally punch in Excel and stuff like that. It's different. Yeah, you didn't hear anything. Yeah. But it was, the thing was, here's the thing. Dearest Abby, welcome. Good to see you. But yes, the coolest thing about them, I mean, I know a lot of people give them crap, right? But I'm telling you, they were so awesome. Like, they were so awesome to me. They ran me into the ground some days, but they also supported me in a way that it's hard for me to even think about how I would repay them in a way, because like they could have just fired me. And they didn't. They waited until I could come back to work, and then they promoted me so that they wouldn't lose me. And it's like, companies don't do that. You know, there's not a whole lot of companies out it's from that size that would support me like that. And they loved, for whatever reason, they loved me. It was funny. There was it was a big presentation, or a series of presentations that it was, we were basically training the field, and a lot of the big wigs were in town or whatever. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know any of them. Okay. So at one point, they're like, okay, so everybody's going to do a presentation on a specific thing. And I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing my presentation on. It's what I know and love and all that kind of stuff. I say love. Anyway, so I get up there to do a presentation. I've never done a presentation before. And there was probably 100 people in there. So it wasn't a huge thing, but I'm up there and I'm presenting and I'm trying to make it kind of fun, kind of energetic, kind of like whatever. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I get done and I go, that was terrible, wasn't it? And they were like, no, that was really, really good. And a guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing all right. How are you? I mean, not who are you, but how are you or whatever. He's like, good. He's like, got a question. How long you been presenting? Like that was a really, really, informational. It was like really good and all that. And I said, that was my first time. And he goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's my first time. And he goes, wow, that's really impressive. Good job. And I'm, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No idea who this guy is. Turns out he's the head over like digital marketing in Europe. All of Europe. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then, so that was kind of cool. But then, the guy that's kind of over digital or was, again, it's probably all different now. But the guy that was all over, US and Canada and Mexico, I think that was his, he kept referencing my stuff and he kept like, hey, and Rob over here, blah, blah. And it was like, this is cool, man. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know I was good at this, but they loved it. So it was one of those things. It was kind of like an ego boost. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, I'm good at this. I could probably do more, but again, I'm not with them anymore. So anyway, it was a cool story. But again, you can talk about their products, you can talk about their ecosystem, you can talk about their practices, their business practices, but those people supported me. And like I said, it's when I was going through all my stuff, they waited for me to get out of the hospital. They waited for me to recover 3 months of not being able to, a guy not being able to do this thing. They kept me employed. And then they were like, and I'm like, I can't do this because I was doing field marketing. And they were like, he can't do this job anymore. So they promoted me. And then they promoted me again. And it was like, it's kind of hard for me to talk bad about any company that would do something like that for a nobody like me, you know? So it was cool. Anyway. Ustream on my first worker day of the week. Easy to remember. Well, there you go. Yeah, Blockbuster. Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly. Billy and Jay both work outside of the movie and Game Chaser stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah, but the thing is with Jay, he's got all kinds of things going on. I mean, he's got Retropalooza, he's got all those things, and I don't know nothing about that. And then Billy does contract work for all kinds of things. But again, he's way super talented and all that stuff. I'm not. So it's like I've thought about that. I'm like, well, maybe I could help. No, I don't know how to do that. And I don't, the one thing about bringing somebody on to basically cut your paycheck in some sort of portion, I wouldn't want to be that guy that he's like, okay, this is how you do this. When he's probably like, okay, I could probably do it in less time and I wouldn't have to share my money with anybody. So it doesn't make sense for Billy to do that. Doesn't make sense for, at least at this point, for Jay to hire me to do any of the stuff that he's doing because he's doing all that and he's got a team already. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I got to figure out something. So, but yeah. What if you rebranded? Hate to say it, but if you put on a Blockbuster uniform and did a VHS filter, your video content would hit with the kids obsessed with the 90s. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Go back. Oh, go back. Here's the thing though. As much as I enjoyed a lot of my time there was also a lot of that time. I'll say this. When I left, my body healed. And my doctor said it's probably because of the stress that you were under. Because you had all of US, Canada that you were in charge of, and that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of people to worry about. So I wouldn't want that same position back. I'd want to do something like, can I just do the little thing? You know, maybe this little thing over here. Can I just handle that for so much money? I'll handle this part, and you guys worry about all that other stuff. Yeah. Presentations can be fun. It takes a lot to speak publicly, especially with the crowd. Sounds like you did a great job. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, all I know is I was just doing what I put it in the mindset. It's just the way that I do my videos. It's like, okay, if I'm watching a video and I don't want spoilers on this movie, how would I talk about it without giving anything away, but give enough information where I could make my own decision about whether to see it or not? Bam. That's what it was. It's like, okay, I understand this concept perfectly. How can I describe it to someone that doesn't know anything about it, that they can understand it? And that's what I did. I ran with it. Greg Joswiak. What is that? Natural speaker. I mean, that's why we're all here. Yeah. I mean, it's part of it, right? I guess. I appreciate that though. Again, I didn't tell that story to be like, hey, but it was a thing where it was like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I've never done it before. And it worked. So it was cool. It was a cool moment. Greg was the head of marketing for said fruit company. Met him at a conference once. Might be wrong. I thought it was Wozniak. I don't remember. But hey, if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, then wow, that's cool. That's cool that you met him. That's cool that you met him. Okay, holy crap. Let's look at the liquid. Okay, Apple Jacks is in second place with 33%. The dragon fruit smaug, right? Smaug fruit cream. The dragon fruit cream, the strawberry cream is in last place with 27%. And right now, Nanner Puddin' Bangin' Bananas is in first place with 40%. I say let's get those votes in. Let's get those votes in because I think it's time to try this mystery liquid that I mixed up today. What are those? What are those? No, they're it's e-liquid vaping. You know, because I vape, and so these are just liquids that I want to try, and I figure let you decide. But this one I mixed up myself. I don't know if it's going to be any good. It's supposed to be a s'mores cupcake. I love s'mores. S'mores is like one of my favorite things. But is it going to work in a vape? I don't know. It's not meth. Love me some Nanner Puddin'. I have to make myself stop when eating it. Oh, I know. So here's what we're putting it in. We're putting it in the most expensive single coil RDA that I own. It's called the Skyfall. Oops. And it's kind of cool. You can see the serial number there. And what's cool is there's these, you can see that little, it's kind of, the airflow is kind of like, it's like, I don't know, there's a line around it, right? These pop out. You can see down in there, they pop out, and you can try, you can get ones with tighter airflow, and then you can flip them around and get a different kind of airflow. So if you look, it's at an angle instead of going straight in. This is supposed to be like, oh, this is the best flavor, blah blah blah. But these were hand I say hand machined. These were machined in Greece, and I want to say they were like, it was expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it was expensive. It's like 2 or 3 years old. But as far as like testing a flavor, this is what you get. Oh, and then here's the top cap. So it's got kind of sits on there like that in a way. You see that airflow goes right in, hits those holes, hits the coil, blah blah blah. Acrylic top cap, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, here we go. So get your votes in, the last votes, before we move on to other things. So, okay, this smells good, and here's what I do. By the way, it's the knuckle test. I call it the knuck. Hit the knuck. Now, I will say that a lot of times what you taste, I just put a drop, just a drop, but it's he sometimes what you taste off of there isn't the same as what you get when you vaporize it. So let's see. Here, let me see if I can show you this while I'm doing it here. Okay, so this is hard to do without looking, but you put the liquid on now. Okay, I just spilled it down the side. Okay. Oh, turn this on. Okay. So what happens is the liquid gets sucked in there when you hit the button. Okay. All right. I mean, it smells good. I'm not gonna lie, it smells good. Let me put a little bit of liquid on those O-rings. Okay. This is the problem with this RDA. It's kind of a manual thing. But you can see. You see that? And then you can close off the airflow. Right? It's like I only want one hole open. What closes it off? Anyway, this is again, super expensive RDA. I don't recommend doing this because honestly, I have a single coil over here that cost me $30, and the vape is almost exactly the same. So, Skyfall. There's a what is it? They have a bunch of things they sound like Bond things. This company. It's made by who makes the Skyfall RDA? Let's see. Skyfall RDA. E-Smoke Guru, again from Greece. I don't think it'll show. I can't show you the website because I'll get destroyed. Destroyed. But yeah, 166 euro is what this cost. Anyway. Okay, wait a minute. Let's turn the wattage down a little bit. That seems a little hot. Not feeling it. Okay, let's pull this cap off. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. No, that's not what I meant to do. Let me put a little bit more liquid on it. And I dropped the top cap. Pro. I'm a pro and I've been vaping for 10 years almost. It's almost been exactly 10 years since I started vaping. And I still suck at it, apparently. Okay. Line up the airflow. Should snap on now. Snaps on good. Okay. Okay, it's not bad. Here's the thing though. This is it needs something to round it out because it feels like it's unfinished and it feels really throaty. It actually kind of hurts to vape. It's it's not great, which is why I only made this much. By the way, this costs probably $4 to make. I used like $4 worth of materials. That's including the bottle. So vaping can be very inexpensive if you learn how to DIY. I suck at it though. So apparently. So yeah, this is not great. Um, can I blow an O? Warehouse Dave, welcome. No, I can't. Um, it's just something I've never learned. Like my friends would do that when we used to smoke. And I just never learned. I was like, I'm not interested in playing around. I'm here to smoke a cigarette and then I'm going to get back to doing what I'm doing. So I never learned. Screw that. Rob can blow a galleon like Gandalf did. No. My vape always tastes different. Moon Vapor. Wraith, welcome. Good to see you. And it is out of stock. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Ricky, this RDA, you have to get on a waiting list through Facebook to get this. And it took me like 6 months to get it. And to get it or to win the raffle just means, hey, we're going to send you a code that you can use to log in so you can actually buy the thing. So they never take it down off the site. They leave it up and it's always out of stock. And then what happens is if you get the code, when you click that link, it lets you buy it. But again, as awesome as this is and as well machined, I mean, it's like there's very few RDAs that feel like this as far as like the machining, the everything. It's beautifully made. It's not worth the money to me. I have crazy expensive vape stuff that doesn't mean crap because all it is, it's a battery directing current to a coil. And guess what? I can put the same coil in this one that I can put in this $30 one over here. And it tastes almost exactly the same. But the throat hurt is usually the nicotine. It can be. But the nicotine that I have is not, there's no throat hit. There's no throat hit to it. What's causing that throat hit is the flavor that's not being rounded out by something else. It needs something else to smoothen out that mix. All I taste, honestly, is a little bit of the chocolate. When I do that, blow it out my nose, I can taste a little bit of the marshmallow and a little bit of the graham cracker. But it doesn't taste like a cupcake at all. It tastes like three separate things instead of a cohesive. It's like when you take a bite of that, right? You get all of it at once. And sure, you can move something over to this side of your mouth or whatever, and you can, whatever. No, it should be like a cohesive thing. It's not. So it's not, it feels like an unfinished, and again, this is DIY. I made this myself. It's not great. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm talking bad about it because I made it. And hopefully maybe I can make it better. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it could use some work. Anyway. It's not bad, it's terrible. Trying new flavor scares me. Stick with what you know. Yeah, see, I can never, the one liquid that I used to love, and I seriously vaped bottles and bottles and bottles of it. There was one time I bought 10 bottles of it because I was like, I know I'm going to vape through this because I love this liquid. And I did vape through all of it. The company was one of these fly-by-night vape shops, And as soon as the FDA came out and said, hey, we're going to start restricting things, they shut down. And they disappeared. That company completely disappeared. They made 2 flavors that I thought were banging. It's so good. It was an acai one. So it was like an acai bowl that you'd buy at like a, you know, Brazilian acai bowl. Amazing flavor. Granola and acai had a creamy, oh, it was so good. It was so freaking good. And then the other one they made it was just strawberry pie. And it tasted like if you could take a McDonald's apple pie, and instead of apple filling, it would be like strawberry filling, almost like what you'd get in like a Mrs. Baird's pie or something. You know what I mean? Like the little fruit pies, but it was a strawberry pie, and that you tasted everything. You tasted the crust, you tasted the icing on the outside. It was phenomenal. And then, like I said, that company just disappeared off the face of the planet. And a lot of those companies, when they said, hey, we're not going to be able to do this anymore, we're going to have to shut down, what they would do is they would put their recipes out on the internet so that people could just, hey, look, we're not in business anymore. Here, have this. And it was awesome. They just completely disappeared. And yeah. So they basically made as much money as they could from the vape industry until it was no longer easy to do so. And they just got out. And after making however much money, they made a lot of money off of me. I'll tell you that. Thinking of watching Gran Turismo, I think the movie looks pretty good, actually. When I heard the I was like, what is it? So this is the last Starfighter, but with racing cars. Is that what this is? And I actually like the trailer. I think the trailer was pretty cool. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call it. Nanner Puddin' coming in with the win. 41% of the vote. Nanner Puddin'. Second place was the Apple Jacks. So here's the Nanner Puddin' that won. Bangin' Bananas won. Apple Jacks came in second, and the Dragon Fruit Strawberry Cream came in third. I'll tell you what. I've made a liquid that is exactly this thing. I'm kind of curious as to how this tastes because the one that I made was awesome. It was really, really good. So Nanner Puddin' with the win. Gran Torino is excellent though. I think Gran Turismo looks good, looks interesting. Bill, just kidding. Wow, I'm way behind all of a sudden. Okay, wait a minute. Is that why I get throat hurt after a few hits? The flavor needs something because it's just 3 milligram Nick. It could be a lot of things. Like some of the ones, a lot of my favorite ones are ones that are like extremely smooth. Like they don't, like this one is that pistachio, the light is what it's called. If you want links, I'll give you links, but over in the Discord. Okay. But this one is really, really good. The problem with it is it gunks up coils like no time. Like you go through 2 tanks, you're gonna need to change your wicks because it's gonna be gunky. But it is tasty. But it tastes like almost like a pistachio shake or something. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But in fact, I think this is almost the last of that pistachio stuff. I need to buy more. But this is really, really good. But it's so smooth. Like, and I can take huge hits like this. Completely smooth. No throat hit, nothing. Awesome. Just great. Great. But yeah, it may just be the liquid, you know, the liquid that you're vaping. They just, maybe it's like a single flavor liquids. A lot of those, they have that harshness to them. So I've been told it's good, Carbonite. Apparently the race sequences are really put together and filmed. I'm going to watch 31 movies this month to get through my back catalog. Been watching a lot of Westerns. I like Westerns a lot. I went on a Western kick too. This is probably, God, it was years ago, but I watched like all kinds of Westerns. I mean, the good ones, the bad ones, all of them. Just was like, I want to watch, and then I went on a World War II kick. So I was watching a bunch of like the old World War II movies. And I like those too. But yeah, I love that stuff. I get tired of the same flavor. Me too. That's why I change it up all the time. But hey, while we're catching up, I'm going to get this thing wicked. Look at that beautiful wick job. Bananas. Banging bananas. I go between like three, a custard, an apple pie, and a Captain Crunch. Yeah, see, I wish I could find that apple pie. I'd like to try that. Because it would be good if I could find a pie flavor like that one that I was talking about. I'm telling you, it was insanely good. I actually got a little bit of a buzz. Because I vape 3 milligram, which is on the low end. That was a huge hit. That was a huge drag, toot, whatever you want to call it. All right. Banging bananas. It smells amazing. Ooh. Okay, if it's anywhere as good. Oh, man. Wow, okay. There's off the nuck. I'm getting banana, I'm getting vanilla, and I'm getting a little bit of a cookie flavor. Like perfection. Like really, really tasty. Really, really good stuff. All right. Let that soak in there. Turn it on. Okay. So put a little liquid on top of them coils. Put a little liquid on top of them coils. Okay, all right. Got some vapors happening. Interesting. Smells different than what I tasted. And that happens a lot too. Like you'll taste it and you'll go, oh man, this is gonna be good. And then you vape it and you go, oh, that's terrible. And it could be, Ricky, what you were saying, as far as like the throat hit, it could be that it's made for a mouth to lung instead of direct lung. So mouth to lung is like a cigarette, where you basically bring it in your mouth, then you inhale. With this, I'm basically breathing it in. So fill that tank up. Come on. That's good. I don't need to fill it all the way up. All right. Okay. Put that cap on. All right. You guys picked it. What's it called? Banging bananas? You guys picked it. Let's try it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sit with this for a second. And we're going to listen to a little bit of a like an old podcast clip while I sit here for a minute with this, okay? And then we'll get caught up in the chat, and then maybe we'll do some news or something. Some news. Anyway, so I'm gonna mute my microphone. So then all of a sudden,
I just really want to go into space, but it just pisses me off that we spend, hundreds of $1 billion on
plants.
No, I mean, we spend hundreds of billions of dollars on weapons and fighting the war in Iraq and all that crap. And I don't want to get into current event type shit, but that really pisses me off. And we need to just throw it at the space program, get us the fuck off this planet, get on another planet so we can fucking do some shit.
Yeah, blow up everything there.
No, I mean, no, I don't care about that. I want to meet some freaking aliens, man. I want them to go zingbach, and I go, hey, how's it going? And there we go. I want to meet some fucking aliens, dude.
I want to go somewhere where the gas in the air is so thick.
You can make money.
It's so thick that you can make money. Because that's a measure of thickness.
So that was the total nonsense portion of the show from me and Robbie.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
I really no.
Okay, we don't need to hear it again. This might need some time. Number one, that's kind of funny. It's from the old podcast. You can't. Why is that making that noise? The tank is making noise. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it doesn't taste great. It tastes weird. It tastes strange. It tastes strange. But that could be one of those things where, like when you clean out a tank, sometimes there's some not residue, but I guess it is maybe residue. But you kind of have to work through the coil a little bit before, it kind of needs to get really soaked into that coil before it'll actually start tasting good. Sometimes it takes a whole tank, like clearing out that whole tank before it'll start tasting good. And this is on rebuildables now, not like store-bought coils or anything like that. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm on the fence. But anyway. My film backlog had grown. I'm way behind, by the way. Way behind. And BC is here. Welcome. Sorry, I'm way behind. Way behind. Anyway, my film backlog had grown as I've been playing through Final Fantasy 16, which is long. I want to play that too. Damn it. I thought you were talking about Gran Torino. That's a good movie too. I like Gran Torino. It was good. Be right back, heading home. Ricky, you're probably already home. Is this a vaping channel? No. But, yeah. The Boss Apple Crack. It's an everything channel. No drama or politics. Except for, when I bring it up very briefly in an old clip. I haven't even bothered with my MTL tank anyways. Okay. I miss lung hits. I've been on the views for too long. Need to replace glass. True. I didn't break it. I didn't break the tank. I think it's just, this is also a very old tank. And I think there's a piece in there. I can't even describe how it fits in there, but it's basically, it hooks into the airflow and it spins. And I think it's just getting loose over time. And I just never noticed it. I don't typically run around doing this. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's all right. It's okay. You'd make a fortune if you opened a vape shop. You're genuinely passionate about it. And the way you describe some of these flavors makes me want to buy a vape and some juice right now. Well, Warehouse Dave, I mean, all I'm saying, look, I'm an advocate for vaping. It helped me quit smoking. So as far as I'm concerned, if you smoke cigarettes, you should try a vape because there are so many different ways that you can vape and there's so many different flavors out there currently. Now the government is trying to keep you from vaping because they're not making money off of vaping. They make money off of smoking. So they want you smoking so they'll make more money from the tobacco companies because that's a whole thing. But that's a thing. What flavor won? Yeah, Nanner Puddin' won. Nanner Puddin' won. Yeah. It's a thing that does the thing to make it work. Yes. But it's the way that it fits in there. It's actually like a genius design because the airflow is coming in from the top. See, a lot of tanks. Here's one. Here's an older one. It's not older, but you see the airflow is on the bottom. Now, the problem with that is that if your wick is too light, like not thick enough, got that thick wick, you know what I'm saying? But if your wick is too thin, the liquid will pour out the airflow because the airflow comes in, right? What this one does is the airflow is at the top and there's these little channels that it fits into and it goes, it's just cool, but it's top airflow, but it's still coming through It's going through the tank and up the bottom. And it makes it's my favorite tank. It's been my favorite tank for a long time because the flavor on it is amazing. It just so happens that I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's the liquid. I don't know if it's because I really rushed to get that thing, to get it cleaned out so we could do this tonight. I don't know. And William Friedkin, we're going to talk about him in just a minute. But yeah, I've only had one cigarette the last few months. Hey, that's great. That's great. For me, and again, this is not a vaping channel. Not a vaping channel, but I love to vape. I love vaping, and I used to smoke. I used to love to smoke, but I wanted to quit smoking because I learned that the government was trying to keep us smoking, and it pissed me off. And so I said, okay, well, screw you. I'm not going to smoke anymore. I'm just going to vape. But it was hard, because there's so many things in cigarettes that keep you addicted. Nicotine in itself is not addictive, which I know that goes against a lot of what people think about nicotine, but it's true. In laboratory studies, they could not keep mice addicted to nicotine. They could keep them addicted to cigarettes because of all the other crap that's in cigarettes. But nicotine on its own, nah, they don't care. Didn't care. It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's all that other stuff that keeps you kind of like jonesing for it. And there's some people that say, after they quit and they move, over to vaping, they quit smoking, they start vaping, and they go, I still kind of miss, I'll smell somebody smoking it. I'm like, I kind of want one. And then you have one and you're like, oh, God, this tastes like Satan's butthole, That's how I was. But it took me a long time to get over that mental part, which is the biggest problem, because it becomes, for me, it was routine. It's like, to me, it was a mental break. Every time I'd go out for a smoke break or whatever, it was that mental break that I needed. I missed that. So then I just swapped it for vaping, and guess what? It's healthier. 95% healthier. I can say that, but I'm not a doctor. And if you're curious, hey, go look at the Royal College of Physicians. They'll tell you. But our own government, no. We hadn't even gotten into UFO talk yet. Warehouse Dave. You know how I do. You know how I do. You know what? Let's start with that, because I kind of want to talk about this. Okay. So one of the things that I did was there's this guy named James Fox who did he's done a couple of documentaries, and you can find them on Tubi. One is called Moment of Contact, which I did see, and that's about the Varginha, Brazil event, I guess you could say. It's as close to Roswell since Roswell, a crash, eyewitness accounts, all that sort of thing, a cover up, the bodies moving from place to place, all that stuff. It's interesting. Okay. Still could be BS, but look, I found it interesting, and it was an entertaining watch. He did another movie called Phenomenon, which I haven't watched yet, but I want to see that one. But he was recently on this podcast with some skeptics, and the way that he dismantled them was awesome. And I actually posted that in the Discord. So if you want to see that, it's on the Discord. But another video I posted was with David Fravor and what's his name? Why do I always do this? I always forget the guy's name. Graves. Ryan Graves? Is that his name? Anyway, they did a podcast together, and both of those guys were in that hearing a couple of weeks ago with David Grush, who was in the middle. The two pilots on the side, they're talking about stuff. And one of the questions that Ryan Graves asked David Fravor's the guy that saw the Tic Tac on the West Coast. He said, "Why do you think there's so much? It seems like there's a lot of reports and a lot of things. This is what he has to say. I'm just going to play a clip of it. Okay.
The question is one, I think it's being reported more. So this is kind of like when you put a focus on safety. When I did oil and gas, we went out and consulted safety stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you put a focus on safety, what you first see is you see a rise in incidents. And it's not that there's a rise in incidents, there's a rise in reporting of incidents. It's not more incidents. It's just people are now talking about it because they feel safe to talk about it. So the more we're seeing with people, are there more incidents? Like, are there more of these UAPs flying around, or are people just more willing to talk about it? Because it used to be, yeah, I saw something weird and it is what it is. Like, I never talked about it.
Or I tricked myself. You trick yourself into thinking it's
it wasn't,
blasé
that's
because
not real.
what else would it be?
But now you've got a reporting process, and I tell you what, it's social media is becoming, and I'm not a big social media fan because I think there's so much BS on social media, and anyone can be anything. Anyone can be a bully. They're talking about the memes and stuff that are coming out with this submarine that just imploded going down to the Titanic. And you look at it, because if people view it, I always look at the views, like, all right, it's great you guys did this story, but it got 1,000 views. Okay. But it's still 1,000 views. And then if they share it, because what you don't see on like YouTube when it counts is, where else was it shared? Was it posted on Facebook? Was it shared around? So that, word gets out there, and word gets out there fast.
Okay. So here's what I want to focus in on. What he's saying is, because I think that's one of the things, like when I've been talking to people here and there about this, they go, okay, so why is it all of a sudden a big deal? What's going on? Why are there so many reports about this stuff right now? What's going on? By the way, Christian, welcome. Good to see you, sir. He's basically pinpointed it. He said, you've given them an outlet to report these things. So now all of a sudden the reports are coming out. All of these reports are coming out. On top of that, there's also the whole the law that was passed, I think at the end of 2022, that basically says, hey, you can't lose your job. You can't be grounded. If you report one of these things, if you're a pilot, you can't be grounded. There are protections put in place now so that people can come forward with their stories without fear of losing their career or anything like that. To me, that's fascinating. And the thing that Ryan Graves said before that made me go, it made like, wow. He said with commercial pilots, he thinks that we're only receiving like 5% of the actual events that's going on right now, because there's still this stigma behind the whole thing. And it's like, oh, Jed over there, he saw when he was flying from New York to Chicago, he saw something and he doesn't want to say anything because he's afraid of getting, grounded or whatever. All of this stuff is starting to loosen up. So I think that's why we're seeing so much stuff on it. Then of course you have somebody like the Brian Grush that comes out and does that huge interview with News Nation or whatever. I think it's News Nation, right? Oh, there. Well, here. That's one of, if not the thing. I think the one I watched was like 40 something minutes. But that whole thing, that interview was insane. And it's basically pointing out a lot of the things that he said on in the hearing. But look, all I got to say is I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm like, you sent me a Twitter? Okay. Should I look at it now? Oh. Is it live? Is there a link? Can you send me a link to it? Like, do you have a link to the show itself? Because I'll put it in the thing. I'll put it in right now. You can't stop me. Okay, so by the way, I was on Rachel's podcast again, Operation Evil, and we did a show together not too long ago, and it's up now. So if you want to listen to it, here, let me see if I can, maybe you can just find it. God, I can't type. Well, that's the Operation Evil. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Holy crap, an hour and 37 minutes. Wow. Here you go. There's the link. If you want to listen to Nyoka, Rachel, and I, we do the Reddit thing. We brought up some Reddit stuff and yeah, we talked about it. It was fun. That was a lot of fun. So if you want to listen to that, you can. There we go. So bright. Are there any technological leaps or current tech that you may feel have come from aliens? Personally, something I feel is technology beyond our years is silicon transistors. Silicon transistors as small as 2 nanometers. Yes. I do believe that there's a lot of technology that we received from them. It's fiber optics. Yeah. It was like 3 hours. Wow. So the Patreon's got the longer one, right? Wow. In the bonus episode? Okay. The size of a few silicon atoms and are used for on-off switching in logic functions computing. Just mind-blowing. Yeah, but there's the link, guys. If you wanna listen to me over on the Operation Evil podcast, Nauk and Rachel, there you go. You can go listen to it. And I believe it's available where you get your podcasts. So you can subscribe to them. You know, that'd be cool. But no, there's probably a ton of things that we take for granted now that were probably provided to us from them. And one of the things, I can't remember who was saying it, but they said, you know, in the military has been using stuff like when new technology comes out and it's like, oh my God, this technology is amazing. The military's had it for 20 years. You know what I mean? And the military's been using it for a long time. Like, I can't remember who was saying it, but they were saying that the, you know, in the Iraq war, the painting of targets, right? That was actually there in Vietnam or something like that. I'm like, what? So there's probably a lot of technology that we take for granted now that was probably more. Probably a whole lot more that came from reverse engineering some of the stuff that we've had, or I say the government has had for years and years and years. I mean, there's no telling. And it's exciting because, you know, if you see that footage of the Tic Tac or anything else, and you see it moving in this crazy, you know, 90-degree turns and all this stuff, almost instantaneous, you know, they were saying something like 1,600 miles an hour or something, you know, like in a split second, no ramp up, just 1,600 miles an hour. That's one of those things where it's like, if that technology is there and we could do that, I mean, think about what that would do to travel. Think about what that would do for, I mean, all kinds of situations. But it's also, here's the other thing. They're like, why don't they just let this stuff out? Well, they don't want this technology getting into the wrong hands. Like one of the examples they said is if somebody could do that, right? And almost instantaneously get to, you know, 80,000 feet. What they could do is that they could go into a town, land, plant a device, set a timer for 3 seconds, go up to the atmosphere, and you wouldn't even know they were there. And then, boom. I think that was on that last thing. So there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle that haven't been really like me personally, I haven't thought about any of that stuff. I just want the data. You know, I want the video, I want the audio, I want the radar telemetry stuff. I want the data. And then we can think about what it all means. You know, like that's just how I'm looking at it. But there's a lot of people that go, And then like, why now? Why is all this stuff happening now? Are they preparing us for something? I don't know. I was watching a video today, and this guy said that that there was a general back in, I think at the end of 2022, that said that he thought that the reason that all this stuff is happening and there's movement in Congress and all that is to prepare the American public for a big reveal from the entities themselves in 2027. And that made me go, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they're like, hey, they're on the way. They're like, they're going to be here they're going to be here soon. So we probably, maybe if we can get people used to the idea that these things exist and these things are around, that maybe people won't freak out as much. Because think about what that would do to just simple people. Think about what it does to, I'm just going to say it, the super religious. How are they going to react? How are the people that are right on the edge of wanting to break the law, but then they go, oh, nobody cares, so I'm just going to do this. It's going to affect society a lot. And I think overall it will be a good thing, but there's going to be a very tumultuous start to this process once everybody realizes, hey, we're not alone. There may be aliens living among us, all that kind of stuff, or non-human intelligence living among us, right? That interests me, because from a human psychology kind of way, there are people that live on the edge that don't break the law because of repercussions, because of the possibility they could go to jail, because of the possibility they could go to hell. There are a lot of things that people don't do because of a moral belief, religious belief, whatever. If that belief is shaken, what do those people do? I don't know. I mean, yeah, there could be some amazing technological things to learn, the free energy, the propulsion, all of those things. But I worry about the regular Joe out there that, how's he gonna react? I don't know. And the thing that just has excited me the most is that people are taking it seriously. Like, it's not just, some video of some dude going, hey, I was out there back in, back on the, in the back part of the farm there. And I told my wife and sister, it's one person, by the way, don't judge me. Anyway, I was telling her that I saw some bright light up in the sky, and well, the golly gee williker, what the hell is that? You don't get that. No, these are trained people, credible people, telling these stories that are fantastic, and that's amazing. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. What about that tech Raytheon has in Antarctica? Oh, I mean, that's another one. See, I watched all of those too. It was Sean Ryan, right? Is that his name? There's too many Brian. There's too many of that. Too much of that. Y'all knock it off. Get some unique names, please. Anyway, yeah, those were some interesting ones. You do a good George Bush impression. Was that George Bush? I was just trying to be it seems like your typical UFO guy, that you see in these things. Well, this thing over there, blah, 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 What did he used to say? You fool me twice, you can't fool me again. Anyway. I remember another one saying night vision tech was engineered based on the lenses over alien eyes. 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah. But that's interesting. Let's see. Wait. Manipulating gravity for propulsion is what that Tic Tac UFO had to have been doing. Exactly. which is what Bob Lazar has been saying since 1989, right? So I don't know. Many people would bow down and immediately worship a superior being, I think, like brown-nosing your boss. Well, yeah, but I think that there's going to be a large segment. I mean, and again, I'm just estimating, or I'm guessing here, okay? There's going to be a large segment of the religious there's a large segment of religious people that will just say, "Oh, well then that's just part of the plan too. That's part of God's plan too." And they will just lump that in with it being part of the larger story, and it won't skip a beat for them. I think there will be another segment of that of religious people that will completely go, "Oh, so we've been wasting our time because there are other beings out there that aren't mentioned in the Bible. So maybe this was all fake or whatever." And then they might go a little nuts. Might say, "Oh, there's no repercussions." Okay. I mean, I don't know who said it, but they said religion is the opiate of the masses, right? There are people that don't do bad things simply because they believe in a higher power. If that belief is shaken, what do those people now do? That's all I'm trying to say. So I don't know. We're here to put food on your family. I think Earth as a planet needs a shift in how energy and many other things produced, etc., and they will assist in that shift because we're harming the planet. Yes. And here's the thing. To me, it's a lot like, oh, I don't know. There's less money in that. There are whole, very, very rich and prosperous families and groups all over the world that this is their business. This is how they made their millions/billions. This is how they want to continue for those things to happen. We had clean energy cars years and years ago, and it was killed by the auto industry, by whoever these people are. So there are a lot of people who don't want clean energy because it would cut into their profits. They don't care about the future. They don't care about anything but that bottom line. And that is what's scary. And there are a lot of things that, I mean, I will say that I believe, again, I don't know this, I believe it. Two very separate things, Like, it's one of the things that always used to bother me about the UFO poster in the X-Files. I want to believe. I don't want to just believe. I want to know. Big difference. Big difference. Believing something is one thing. Knowing something is another. Anyway. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying because I went on that tangent. Oh, harming the planet. Yeah. There are a lot of green technologies that we could be using more now that would be cleaner. It would be better for the planet, all that sort of thing. And we're not doing it because there's not enough money in it. So it's just it's a thing. The other thing that concerns me in general is the population. I mean, I'm not one of those Mother Earth kind of people, but I'm also worried that there's only so much that this Earth can take, living off of the planet, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Will science like autocorrect some of this stuff? Will the Earth, will something happen to maybe cut that number down? To me, that's scary because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, would it be better for the planet if there were half the people living on it? I'm not saying that I want it to happen, but I'm saying that from from a standpoint of just looking at a planet and what it can sustain, that may be a thing. I don't know. It's look, there's a lot to unpack here, and the fact that the mainstream media isn't paying more attention to it when it feels like it could be like all of these problems are way down here, and this is a big problem, and this is something that could affect everything, you know? Like, seriously, if a ship came down, right, and an alien gets out and says, "Hey, you guys need to knock it off," how many people would still be concerned about what any politician is doing? At least for a while. There's a lot of things that take precedence, right? Or just more important. There's a lot of things that I would stop caring about. But I don't know. I had a vivid dream once about a bald dude flying me above Earth and showing me some green field being depleted many years ago, and I didn't even read about UFOs. I've always wondered, see, that's the other side of things, where, especially when you go down the rabbit hole, you start getting into things where, like, especially if there's, maybe like a shadow government kind of thing, which is kind of scary. But what other things do we not know about? Were there, a group of mind control people? Was there? I mean, who knows? There's so many ways that, and your brain starts to go, I don't know. It's freaking me out a little bit, when you think about that stuff. But it's also, and for me, it's like, I try to look at it very logically and without emotion, and just get the data. That's what I want. If I can have the data, then I can start to process it and start to go, okay, now, all right, so that's a thing now. So now what? You know what I mean? I feel like we need to get there. Aliens aren't real. Aliens aren't real. Yes, they are. Dinosaurs. Show me. But see, here's the thing. I'm right there with you. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of interesting talk. To me, it's very interesting. Scientifically, it's interesting. But where's the data? Where's the actual data? Where's the video footage? Where's the where seriously? So for me, I've always been that kind of person that, look, you can say a lot of things, but this is part of God's plan, would be a common narrative. I think so. Oh, Rachel, look, hey, I'm all for skeptics. All for them. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, Gary, that is not something where, he's not being nice. That's a valid thing that a lot of people share. Like, how many times April has rolled her eyes when she sees me watching another alien documentary? It's a normal thing. And it's a normal feeling to go, look, there's been a lot of BS over the years. I've lived through a bunch of it. All of us have, right? Show me. Put it in front of me. Now, I'm one of those people that UFOs is and aliens and UAPs, whatever you want to say, it's always been something that's been interesting to me. So I've always kind of kept my eye on it, not like super crazy deep. Now, I will tell you, when Project Blue Book got, that was 97, right? So 50 years. 50 years from Roswell. Whenever it was when the Freedom of Information Act came out, or happened, and Project Blue Book, they put a bunch of documents online. I went through all of it. It's a bunch of crap that you couldn't really decipher. At least I couldn't. But I went through all of it. I downloaded it from the websites back in the day, and it took, however many hours to download because we were on modems, 56K modems or whatever. But yeah, I'm one of those people. I want to know. So yeah, I don't know. Phase plasma rifle in the 40-watt range coming in 2027. Hey, maybe. I love that movie. Aliens is great. It's great. Old dudes are getting phased out, but they're taking us with them. What do you mean by that? See, I'll tell you this. I'll say this. I've wondered that myself. I've wondered that are the reason that some of this stuff is coming out is because some of the people that were keeping it secret are now gone. Maybe that's why. If none of this stuff was real, then where do these stories come from? I mean, here's the weird thing. And this is where it can get kind of like, okay, Rob, what? Think about all of the monsters, all of the because what do humans do in general? What do humans do? They try to make sense out of what they don't understand. They will write stories about things that they don't understand, and they'll try to in trying to make sense of it. What if somebody was found with no blood back in however long, and so all these legends start to come around, right? Oh yeah, we found him with no blood. He was completely no blood. Vampires. There was a guy that went crazy at night and killed a bunch of people. It was a full moon. Werewolves. You know what I mean? There's like all of these things, you know, maybe some of these myths and legends that we've read about all our lives, maybe some of them are steeped in truth, and it's all because the people at the time just couldn't figure it out. I'm not saying that vampires and werewolves are real. I'm just saying, what if some of those myths and legends are based in some sort of truth? They just didn't understand it. You know? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Rob turning into Thanos? No, I'm just saying that it's one of the things that, you know, you look at and you go, we've gained how many people on this planet in how many years? That's a lot. I was watching a movie, an older movie, where they were saying, oh yeah, 4 million people on the planet. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm like, yeah, we doubled that. 2023, we have 8 billion people on the planet. It's crazy. So, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm just, hey, only the facts. And see, here's the thing. It's the single biggest issue I think with all of this is that there's just so much damn noise. You know, you've given everybody a device that makes them feel like they could get on a social media of their choice and they get their thoughts out there. I'm just going to say, there's a lot of people, I wish I didn't have to hear their thoughts. I wish I didn't have to hear their inane, ridiculous. I saw a guy the other day, and this was trending, or like, you know what I mean? This was like one of those things, like almost meme-y kind of stuff. And it was basically, you shouldn't masturbate because it's making you older. As a man, you shouldn't ejaculate because it makes you older. If that was true, I'd be dust and bones right now. I'm just saying it was ridiculous. This guy was talking like it was truth, you know? And it was like, who are you? You're some hippie, dumb-looking idiot. What the hell? You don't know. You're not a doctor. Shut up. Quit saying this crap. And it was trending. And it was just like, oh my God. This idiot's views are everywhere. I'm just like, what? And that's what I'm saying, is that there's just so much noise. And there's been so many, you know, somebody throws a trash can lid, they take a picture of it, and oh, it's UFO. You know, just people want attention, right? That's part of the issue, is that there's a lot of BS to wade through, right? And if we could just filter all that out and get to the meat, give me the meat. I've said that before, and it still sounds weird. I'm just trying to say, give me the good stuff, you know? We need clear footage, which they probably have tons of. Yes. There was there's just, dude, there's so much. And one of the cool things, though, was that James Fox, right, who's been doing investigative reporting on UFO, like serious UFO / UAP events and all that stuff for many years, interviewed tons and tons of people with firsthand encounters, whether it's witnesses, it's members of the military, members of Congress, ex-presidents, all that stuff. He's talked to a bunch of people, okay? He said, I can't wait because he said, I literally cried because it was like, it's finally happening. I always thought that it could happen, that the information would come out. It's finally happening. And he said, I have a source that told me that there are many people with firsthand encounters with non-human intelligence that are now thinking, okay, it's okay. I can come out and tell my story now. So there's going to be a lot more. And I'm excited. I'm excited to hear him say that, because not only is he to me a credible person, a person who's not in it just for money. He's actually in it for, this is his kind of life's work. But on top of that, he's just excited because he knows it's coming, because sources are telling him it's happening soon. So that's exciting to me. Now every one of us, all those people that are saying that are doing shows like this, we could all be wrong. But I'm just excited. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. So anyway, Christians aren't swayed by dinosaurs, so it won't matter. That's, not wrong. Not wrong. And again, it's I'll just say that when it comes to skepticism, I think skepticism is healthy. I think if you don't call bullshit on some of this stuff, then they will continue to walk over you and they will continue to try to deceive you. We need to have there needs to be a healthy dose of skepticism in everybody's view, right? Of what's going on. Whether aliens or not, whatever. Skepticism is a healthy thing. But when government intelligence agents are telling you under oath and telling Congress some of these things, that lends a little more weight. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Terminator reference, not aliens. Oh, is that what he says that in that gun shop with Dick Miller, doesn't he? I was thinking of the plasma, the pulse rifle, right? With the shotgun or the grenade launcher underneath. That's what I was thinking. But hey, I was close. It's James Cameron. I'm in the same ballpark. Okay. I'm so far behind. Sorry. I was watching an X-Files movie yesterday. I remember watching it in the theaters back then. That's a good movie. I like that first movie. I think it's really good. But vampires and werewolves are real. I know because I've hunted them. Okay. I've always liked that theory. Which theory? Candyman? I'm so far behind. Shouldn't ejaculate because it makes you older. No wonder I look so young. I gotta ask, bro, what kind of life are you living that you have to hear these goofy thoughts? You're not one of them tweeter addicts, are you? No, I don't listen to them. I don't. But you have to understand, there is a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of noise out there. And I'm talking not just about UAPs and UFOs and all that stuff, but everything else. And I'm not just thinking about what I take in. I'm thinking about what everyone takes in. Like, let's be honest. In the 60s, people used to get a lot of their news from Walter Cronkite. Now, who are they getting their news from? some schmo on the internet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And the number one thing that I'll say this, no matter what you may hear on this channel, I never want anyone to come away with thinking, oh, Rob is telling me what to think. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. I come from a philosophy background. Philosophy was the only class that I aced in college because I loved it, right? Philosophy is teaching you how to think, how to process, how to be skeptical, how to look at the world with objective eyes. It's very difficult sometimes, but you take your subjective self out of the equation and you try to look at things objectively and see what the truth is. The problem is you're still making your own truth, your own subjective truth, but the goal is to try to get to objective truth. The things that me, the person standing next to me, this person in England, the person in New Zealand, that we all can look at it and we go, okay, that is a thing, right? But also, it's never about what to think. It's about how to think. That's what, if anyone comes away with anything, I want to say, well, Robbie's trying to tell me how to think, or is trying to instruct people on how to think. I'm just giving you little things that I've heard. I'm not trying to tell you the truth, because my truth is different from your truth. You know, we're all different and we all come from different backgrounds. We all, you know, I have no idea what it's like to grow up in New Zealand. None, zero. But there are things that Bucho and I have in common. And there are things that we can both agree are true. Gravity exists. Sure, okay. Well, gravity doesn't exist as much in the moon. Well, I mean, that's whatever. But I'm just trying to say there are things that we can agree on. And being able to separate yourself from the situation and look at it objectively and skeptically is super healthy. Looks like a prawn app because of the X. The next year should be wild with more whistleblowers coming out. I mean, that's the goal, right? That's what they're trying to do. What's this? I still call X Twitter. Episode 4 New Hope, I call Star Wars old school. Marky Mark. UAVs, UFOs. The truth is out there. I can't see gravity, so it's not real. I mean, look, there just needs to be a healthy amount of skepticism. And I'm never going to try to tell you what to think. Because, no. But if I can give you some information that makes you go, oh, and you come to a conclusion yourself, that's what I would prefer. The best teachers that I ever had never taught me what to think. They taught me how to think. And that was the difference between what a lot of people on Twitter try to do. They try to bully you into thinking their way, and that's just not the way it works. You know, you attract more bees with honey than hamburger meat. I don't remember what the thing. I'm just trying to look. I think they're interesting. Teachers are now teaching what to think, indoctrination centers, right, which is dangerous. Dangerous. Very, very dangerous. You know, where were we? We were in Wingstop. April and I were in Wingstop. And I'm eating my boneless Cajun wings. They're not even wings. They're just little chicken nuggets. But anyway, I'm sitting there eating them because I didn't want to get the whole thing, right? That's the only reason to get, you know, if you're out in public, just get the boneless or the chicken nuggets. Don't get the full wings because you're going to look like a savage and it's weird. And it makes me feel weird. And I hate the fact that I get hot wings, right? So my fingers are actually kind of stingy. My lips are on fire. And anyway, I'm sitting there and I told April, I said, I've never felt so old than I do right now. And she goes, what? What do you mean? I said, we've been here for what, 25 minutes? She goes, yeah. I said, every single one of these songs sounds exactly the same and they all suck. And she goes, yeah, they do. Yeah. But you know what? There's probably people out there that like them. But holy crap, that music sucks. You want to know what it was like to grow up in New Zealand in the 80s? If there was a bright center of the universe, New Zealand was the place it was farthest from. Literally, we're the most geographically isolated nation on the planet Earth. Yes, but I'm just trying to say that there are things that you've been through that you can tell me, but I can never fully experience. You are completely, it's going to sound like all new agey or something, but you're a completely unique being in all of history. Every single one of us is a unique individual being in all of history. No one has been through what you've been through. No one has seen it the way you have. And if that's all true, then we're all the same. And my biggest thing is I want the aliens to come down, or from the sea, or wherever they're coming from. I want these non-human intelligences to come to the planet Earth and make us all realize that we're all the same, and that the differences that we keep, fighting over and all these things, none of it matters. We should be one race exploring the universe together. Our differences aren't that different. Anyway, I eat boneless wings with my fork like a weirdo. I do too. Especially at Wingstop, because those sons of bitches are hot. And Naoka, hello. By the way, there's Naoka. And look, there's a link to the show that I was on, Operation Evil, with Naoka and Rachel. There you go. If you're interested. Bam. Boneless is chicken tenders. Right. But Lord of the Rings. No, the menu says boneless wings, so they are nuggies. They're definitely nuggies. Pacific Rim aliens. I mean, yeah. I here's the thing. If they do exist, which I'm kind of leaning that they do, whatever this non-human intelligence is, they're here to help. Because otherwise we'd be dead. That's the way I look at it. Otherwise we'd be dead. I mean, you ask David Fravor, you ask Ryan Graves, is there anything that you could have done to stop this craft if they were hostile? And each one of them said, nope, there's nothing I could have done. They could have done anything they wanted and it wouldn't have mattered. There wouldn't have been anything I could do. If that's true, and they've been around for as long as they're saying they might have, maybe the 1930s, maybe the Vatican has something to do with knowledge of, anyway, that's another thing. Again, I went down the rabbit hole, guys. But if all that's true, then they're here to help. And if they're here to help, maybe we can learn something. Maybe we can put our silly divisions aside and learn something from the super smart, super ancient knowledge of an alien or non-human species. Maybe there's something to learn there. So please don't go outside and shoot at the aliens, please. They might be here to pick me up. Valcro, what's going on? This depends if the aliens are like Superman, Mac and Me, or Xenomorph. If it's the latter, absolutely. But good to see you, Valcro. Aliens have always been among us. I'm actually thinking that I might just tell you guys my book idea, because now it's not going to make any sense, because a lot of it comes from that concept. And I love the idea, but I just like, now it's going to be like, this isn't just not true. Well, no, it's not true. It's science fiction. Yeah, but it's too close to what's really happening with the aliens being here. oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess my story sucks then. But I came up with this story like years ago, and I think it's cool that, yes, aliens were among us, and they don't, the, people are living their lives not knowing that they're aliens. I think that's cool. Anyway, hey, I gotta use the restroom, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back. Seriously, I'm not going anywhere. I just gotta use the restroom. Be right back. No doo-doo, and I do eat. Believe it or not, I do eat. I do eat. In fact, I've eaten on stream before. Wouldn't that be amazing? It's like an alien Mission Impossible. It'd be great. But no pooping. Not this time. That was a lot of pee though. You ever be like in the middle of a pee and you're like, is this ever gonna end? Yeah. It's kind of how I felt in there. Just saying. Either to help or observe. Either way, I don't think they're hostile. I don't either, Carbonite. I don't either. And I'm not gonna pee in a bottle. Look, I'm not Billy, okay? I don't think he does that during stream. No. I do love talking about aliens, though. He just drinks like a Namekian? I don't even know what that means. Rob excretes through his skin pores like the aliens do. That's why he smells of fresh ammonia. There's a lot of that in the moment of contact. Again, on Tubi, you can watch Moment of Contact and Phenomenon, James Fox documentaries. They're actually really good. They're actually really good. So, and I think, and I said UFOs Investigating the Unknown. That's on Disney Plus. That's a 5-episode thing that's awesome. Like, and it's done by National Geographic. It's super well done. Super well done. That's the one that really kind of started me off, kind of going, okay, I got to go down this rabbit hole now. It was really good. Like V, yeah. But it's all, dude. Remember when that happened? Were you guys watching that? I was watching that show. Loved that show. And when that happened, it was freaking me out a little bit. I was young, but it was freaking me out. standing there peeing for like 30 seconds straight, and you're like, dude, finish already. Exactly. Namekian is the green guy from DBZ. Oh, see, I don't know. Pop Hunter, what's going on? Good to see you. And Squiggles. Robert Englund was on it. Yes. Yes. Robert Englund was on it. But look, all I'm trying to say is I'm not telling you what to think. But I'm saying that if you're interested, there's a lot of things that you could watch and learn and read. I mean, there's just amazing stuff to me. I think it's amazing. And yeah, I'm probably going to continue to be talking about it because it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Now, I don't have a whole lot of news. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about aliens, a lot of time doing the DIY stuff. Let's see. It's throaty. It's definitely throaty. You can feel it. But let's talk about the news real quick. First off, yes, William Friedkin, acclaimed director of The French Connection, The Exorcist, Sorcerer, which I've never seen, apparently came out the same summer as, I mean, it came out in 1977, so it just got completely overshadowed by Star Wars. But yeah. And then To Live and Die in LA, which a lot of people think is like the like one of the best crime movies of all time. I watched it and was like, yeah, it was okay. I see why people like it. I didn't love it. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, The Exorcist, I mean, just think about this for a second. If you've seen The Exorcist, that movie affects you. That movie affects you in ways that I didn't realize how much that movie affected me until I started remembering things, you know? But yeah, William Friedkin, rest in peace, sir. And of course, also Mark Margolis, Salamanca. He was in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He was his landlord, Ventura. Yes, Satan. That guy. I mean, he's been in a ton of things. But yeah, Bryan Cranston, Bob Odenkirk, more pay tribute. I mean, it was just it's a thing, But an amazing character actor who's been, I mean, in so many things. So many things. Tio? Thought it was Hector. He's a the face but not the name. Exactly. Right. La Familia Estoro. The family is... Oh, Tia is what his family calls him? See, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. But yeah. Amazing actor. Oh, Uncle. Ah. Gotcha. I saw this today and I just thought it was interesting. Ridley Scott regrets choosing to direct Alien Covenant over Blade Runner 2049. I mean, interesting. I mean, yeah. That's a weird one. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, he executive produced it, but it would have been a different movie. He can always do another BR movie, right? I mean, he's what, 83 now? Does it say? He says, I shouldn't have had to make that decision, but I had to. I should have done Blade Runner 2. No, it doesn't say how old he is. Let's see. How old is Ridley Scott? 85 years old. 85 years old. Holy crap, Sigourney Weaver's 73? Wow. So, yeah. It's not like he's going to be around forever. I mean, he is working on that Amazon Blade Runner TV show. But he's got Napoleon coming out. And I don't know about you, but Napoleon looks awesome. It looks really good. So, and Ridley's, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Ridley's one of my favorites. He's just one of my favorite directors. And mostly, not only does he make movies that I love, Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator, The Martian, right? Great Kingdom of Heaven, Black Hawk Down. He's done amazing movies, but he also shows you how to make them. He shows you the process. And it's just, I love that. I love that about him. I love how open he is about his own art because he knows that, hey, I can show you all this stuff. You can't make a movie like me. There's no way. He's probably right. I don't have the kind of talent that he can just, he says he can just see what he wants exactly in his mind and draw it out. And it's a beautiful piece of art. He's an amazing guy. An amazing guy. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I still need to do all the Alien movies on my Ridley Scott review-a-thon. But I have a huge book here that I want to read before I do Alien. I want to read this before, and it's still sealed, and it's by the late, great J.W. Rinsler. Same guy that did the making of the Star Wars movies, the making of the Indiana Jones movies. This guy is, if you look up that name, J.W. Rinsler, this guy has done some amazing stuff. The complete story behind the most famous sci-fi horror movie of all time. Yeah. I want to read this before I do the review because I need to know what I'm talking about. And I already have it in 4K. I already have the big Alien set. I got all that. I just need to read that book first. But anyway, let's move on with the news. A little bit of news, like I said, it's not a whole lot. Greta Gerwig's existential comedy Rollerblades passed the $1 billion milestone. The first woman to direct a movie that hit $1 billion. I just think that's freaking cool. I haven't even seen the movie yet. I just think that's cool. And I've seen interviews with Greta Gerwig, and I like her. I like her, the way that in fact, I don't think I've seen any of her movies. I never saw Little Women. I haven't seen, it's on my list. Little Women's on my list. And the one with the girl with the Irish name, Saoirse Ronan? Is that her name? Saoirse? Is that how you say her name? I can't remember the name. Lady Bird? Is that the name of the movie? They're both on my list, and I still haven't watched them. But there you go. But yeah, I just think that's cool. I'm sorry, I was distracted by that Sharon Stone comment and then imagining it. Well, I mean, think about it. Just think about it for a second. She's right. We've seen TV stars having sex. We've seen movie stars or whatever getting out of cars and seeing everything they have. So yeah, it's honestly pretty tame compared to today. I actually read that headline and was like, what? You see so little of anything in this film, actually, and now we see men with full frontal nudity on television, but still we look at that film as such a scandalous, controversial moment in filmmaking, and really, it's quite benign by comparison to almost anything you see now. Not wrong, Sharon. Not wrong. Now, this one was something that I was like, because we're talking about Barbie, right? Talking about Greta Gerwig. The other big movie, Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan, right? Those two seem to be poised to be nominated for Best Picture and Best Director and all that stuff. They're poised to be big movies, right? Big movies that the Academy will definitely want to highlight and award. But then, man, I heard this and was like, Really? Christopher Nolan forgot to credit over 80% of the VFX crew on Oppenheimer. He kept talking about how, and remember, I even brought it up. I think I brought it up during my review. I know I brought it up on stream that he said, yeah, it's like the way that he kept saying is that there's no CG in the movie. But I was like, are you saying that there's no CG in the explosion? Or are you saying that there's no CG, period? But apparently, there was a lot of CG in the movie, and they weren't credited. Let's see. Compositing was the primary use of VFX in the film. Okay, that makes sense, but that's still VFX. They shot these explosions at high speed, slowed them down, then brought layers of footage together in post-production. The final shots range from using the raw elements of shot through to complex composites of multiple filmed elements. Almost all the VFX shots in the movie were recreated using only real elements combined together. Chris Nolan was determined to keep the VFX grounded in reality and maintain the raw feeling of actual footage. Okay, but there you go. Oppenheimer has a VFX crew of 27 people. It looks like it's only compositing and no CG. Congratulations to the team. The film looks amazing. And then he says, wait, where's it at? Where's the... Oh, yeah. DNEG's own website has a scrolling list of VFX crew who worked on Oppenheimer, and it totals 160 people. So, that's kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer. I'm no movie maker, but I don't know, right? David Fincher is also another director that has hits and is critically acclaimed. True. He's got his movie coming out. He's got, of course, you've got a guy you might have heard of him, Martin Scorsese. Yeah, this little movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, right, with Leo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, and yeah, there's that one. There's Napoleon with Ridley Scott. Yeah, there's some heavy hitters and movies that we may not even know about yet, you know, that we haven't seen yet. Oh, by the way, if Dune 2 comes out, that one might be on the list as well. Just saying. But here's the thing. Even though this whole thing with Christopher Nolan, it sucks. Okay? It just sucks. There's also another side of it. And our good buddy, Yoshi Vu. Interesting. Marvel Studios VFX workers filed to join IATSE union. So, just to let you know, Marvel has a staff of VFX workers. They aren't the ones that do all the visual effects on movies, right? They're not everything. But they are a portion of the VFX done for all of these big movies. Almost every visual effects house you've ever heard of has worked on many of these movies. You got ILM, you got Digital Domain, you got Weta, you know what I mean? You've heard these names. And Ted Milich dropping in to say hi. Hi, Ted. I don't know why. Hi, Ted. I don't know why I said it like that, but there you go. Hi, Ted. This is an interesting thing, and it could be the start of something. Is it? I don't know. But this is a very, very small percentage of the workers that work on Marvel films. But it still could be. It could be the start of something. So I wanted to bring that up. I mean, we've talked about this stuff many times in the past, you know, and we talked about, you know, the Beyond the Spider-Verse folks. We talked about all kinds of situations like that. And a lot of it, I never really paid a whole lot of attention to until I met Yoshi, until I met Jose, until I met David, you know, and these guys are like amazing guys. And yet I know that in some ways, not all ways, but in some ways they've been mistreated and they've been taken advantage of, frankly. So there you go. That's the news basically for this week. Again, it's hard to get a whole bunch of, oh, this movie's coming or whatever, and there's none of that because they're all on strike. But David Fincher, I'm curious if his movie is coming out this year, The Killer, right? Isn't that called The Killer? Is that going straight to Netflix, or will that have a theatrical window as well so that it can be a part of the Academy Awards? I don't know. I would think so. Apparently that prison movie that Steve Buscemi directed was good from the reviews I've seen. Yeah. Fincher's amazing. Don't forget Zodiac. Zodiac's my favorite Fincher movie. By far. Nighty night, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And oh, by the way, just in case you want to listen to me and Rachel and Nyoka talk on Operation Evil, there you go. There's the link. But Rachel, have a great night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for adding to the conversation. And let your husband, Gary, know that it's okay to be skeptical. It's all right. It's all good. And leave a like. Nightbot, don't get on my back. Hey, Nightbot, you be nice to the people coming in here, okay? You gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. He's sneaky. He's sneaky like that. You sounded like Mr. Garrison. Hi, Ted. Wow, I had the green apple splatters. I used to love that show. I haven't watched South Park's one of those things that I keep wanting to go back to, and I just haven't yet. But I used to love South Park. I love that show so much. There was so many. One of the things that I loved about South Park is that you could be watching the 30-minute episode, right? And you get to about the 20-minute mark. If someone walks in and tries to figure out what the hell's going on, they have no idea. So much has happened in those first 20 minutes that's impossible to describe. It's like, no, you just have to sit down and watch this. That's just the way it is. And I love South Park. I always have. South Park is still pretty good. Yeah. I watched an episode not too long ago and was like, it wasn't like a or a no, I was laughing out loud multiple times. They're still amazing. I love them. How do you feel about the studios trying to get extras to sign away their likeness rights in the movies that they're in and possibly pigeon-toe them into working for just one studio because of it? I hate it. And it's part of the reason why they're striking right now. The actors are striking. Yeah. And also not just that, but they would own their likeness forever. That they could use their likeness in movies forever. No. No. Pay you a day rate and then you get to use my face forever? No. So yeah, there's a lot of problems with that stuff. Yeah. Crazy. I still love South Park, but the last few seasons have just been okay. It's just most of the stuff they joked about was just normal stuff at the time, COVID, boosters, but I still love it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't watched it. I used to watch it every week, and it's been a long time since I've done that, but I still have a soft spot for that show. Like, this might get me in trouble with some people. Just saying. Might get me in trouble. I think South Park is way better than Simpsons. I like The Simpsons. So to me, it's like South Park, Simpsons, Family Guy. Even though there are some Family Guy episodes that used to make me die laughing. But yeah. To me, that's the tier list. If we're doing a tier list. Just saying. Hollywood execs are Shang Tsung. Yep. Wanting to absorb your soul. That's right. You agree with that order? Okay. So I'm not alone. I love South Park so much. It's so funny. I like that humor where if you're with a group of people, somebody might be mad. To me, that's the best humor. It's humor that from time to time makes you feel uncomfortable. To me, comedy, good comedy, should make you feel that way. No Futurama? Wow. I've never watched Futurama. I never have. I never have. It came out after I was, I stopped watching TV for a long time. And so Futurama came and went while I was on my no TV hiatus. I'm also a lot older than most of you in here. So that might be part of it. But yeah. So, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to try this again. The banging bananas that you guys picked. Futurama, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers. Never saw American Dad. And then you retracted it. You? Okay. Futurama, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, Simpsons. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Never watched American Dad. Never watched Bob's Burgers. I didn't even watch, like some of my friends, you're not a real sci-fi fan if you haven't seen Futurama. There, I said it. Okay. I guess so. I didn't like or watch King of the Hill. And I tried to watch some of the new Beavis and Butthead, and it made me like, this is not funny. So, yeah. And then I actually tried to watch some of the old Beavis and Butthead and was like, wow, this is really unfunny. So, I don't like any of those shows except for Futurama. Okay. Everything you said you haven't watched are the ones I haven't either. Okay, Bonoma Juice. Okay. New Beavis and Butthead has its moments. Yeah, I haven't watched any of those. Watched bits and pieces and was like, okay, well, I guess it's not for me anymore. But this is not, I don't know, man. There's something in here that's weird. There's an element, because that's the thing. You're in a lot of cases with liquids, they might put in something that doesn't make sense, that shouldn't work, but it's got just enough of an element that makes this taste right. Like what I've heard is, if you want a, like if you've got a strawberries and cream sort of flavor, and you want the strawberries to punch it up more, you don't add more strawberry. You add a little bit of what is it? Oh God. Black currant. You add a little bit of black currant and it boosts the strawberry. But it doesn't seem to, you don't taste the black currant. Like if you tasted a black currant liquid on its own, you go, oh yeah, that's black currant. Which is not something that like a lot of Americans can easily identify what that flavor is. But I've had enough of the e-liquids that I've had a lot of black currant. It's good, it's okay. But I think that's big in the UK, I think. Anyway, yeah, you can add black currant and it'll actually boost the flavor and actually make it almost feel juicy. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But there's something in here that's just not right. Like it's not good. You dump money into new flavors. You don't like it. What do you do with the rest of the bottle? It goes in the jug of shame. No, what happens is the way you're supposed to dispose of e-liquid is to put it in like a Ziploc bag full of kitty litter and then pour the liquid in there and the kitty litter absorbs the liquid, because you don't want to just dump the bottle because a freaking pigeon might get into it and it might kill it. I don't know. you're not supposed to throw it away. You're not supposed to dump it down the drain. You're supposed to dispose of it in a responsible way. There are actually places that will recycle e-liquid. Most of them are vape shops, but that's what they say. This is the most responsible way to do it. And hey, I'm a responsible guy. So that's what I do. Now, you might look at this and go, dude, that's a lot of wasted money. Well, some of that is just straight up flavoring, like old flavoring that I had sitting on the shelf for like 4 years. Yeah. Some of the flavoring goes in here. And so like when you open this, it smells like there's a lot of strawberry. But yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been taking the jug of shame, emptying old flavors or whatever, the expired flavors or whatever, and dumping it in there. And then once it's all in there, in that big jug, I'll do a bunch of those bags of kitty litter and just get rid of it all. So, how do you feel about the Orville? I have never watched it, but that is one of those where I keep hearing good things about it. I know Yoshi actually worked on the first episode or first season. I think it was the first episode. He worked on some stuff for the Orville. And so it's always been something that I was like, I need to watch that. I don't know where you can watch it. Actually, I have Just Watch right here. Look at that. Bam. I look at that. Adventures in Game Chasing. The Orville. Where? Oh, it's on Disney Plus. Oh, well, shit, I can watch it. I can just watch it. And I hear, from what I've heard, it's like for Star Trek fans. It's like a better Star Trek than any of the Star Trek that they've gotten in years. So I kind of want to see it, but I just never have. So yeah. You dump money in. Oh, yeah. Chug the jug. No. Won't chug it, won't vape it. It smells there like I said, there was strawberry, there's a little bit of banana, there's tobacco, there's all kinds of a mix of flavors in there. If I shook it up, it would smell different. There's so much junk in there. So yeah. You got to return it like used motor oil. I mean, I probably could, but I don't want to kill pigeons. Even though I don't like pigeons, I think pigeons are a menace. I hate that there's so much poop comes out of one bird. Yeah, I've had my car dumped on many times from pigeons. But anyway, how do I feel about the Redenbacher? Well, the Orville is one thing. The Redenbacher is a totally different thing. Devil corn. Orville Redenbacher makes devil corn. So, my uncle just recorded an interesting video, a line of dots in the sky moving one way, then they all started moving the other way. Discord, please. Post that bitch. Why do I keep doing this? Like, I'm an idiot is what I am. You don't have the video. What year do we live in? Have them text it to you. Come on, man. Make with the UFOs, man. Don't keep us in suspense. I don't know why I'm just all of a sudden like, hey, come on. Well, okay. Next, it texted you all blurry. Okay. Then next time you're with him, do the old, I don't know what you do on Google, but like airdrop. Have him send it to you in a way that it preserves the quality. You put that up there. If not, I'll give you a place to upload it to my Google Drive, and I'll convert it and make it look great and small and compress it and all that stuff. But it will still retain as much as the quality as possible, and then we can all enjoy this wonderful thing. Okay? That goes for anybody. All right? People in chat, people watching the replay. There's probably not anybody watching the replay, and I'm holding my hand up to my mouth again like it actually does something. But anyway, send me your clips. I'll watch them. I'm gonna get a lot of weird stuff if I say that, aren't I? What is that? I think that's a butthole. I mean, it's gonna be some weird stuff, I think. UFO UAP is what I should say. Send me your UFO/UAP footage. And if you know what it is, then you can't send it. So if it's somebody's butthole, I've watched replays before. Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm saying not a whole lot of people will get to the end of a 3-hour replay. Just saying. Look, I see the trends on my channel. I can see that there's not a whole lot of people watching, and that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I'm going to probably have to go find a side job or something. Not a side piece, a side job. Got to bring in some dough to alleviate I mean, at least if I'm making some money, then it won't suck so bad that she's having to work all the time. Anyway, I too have been known to partake in a replay. Well, like I said, I feel like you guys who are here, yeah, you miss a stream, you might go watch the replay. Awesome. I mean, I do the same thing with Dave. If I miss a Dave stream, I'm like, oh, well, shit. I don't have anything to watch right now. Pop on Dave on a Tuesday afternoon, and catch up on the previous stream that I missed. But I just know that a lot of people probably won't watch that. Anyway, well, if you guys got anything else, I'm done. I'm tapped out. We talked about UFOs. We talked about all the news. I'm good. And actually, I can feel, I need to be, Hydration Bear is mad at me right now. You got the vid? Okay. Nice. Is it time for the Bigfoot talk yet? Bigfoot, Sasquatch, that whole thing. What if it's an alien? I've just never been that big on that. I've never been that big. I mean, ghost stories are cool to listen to, but I've never been that much of a believer when it comes to a whole lot of supernatural stuff. It always seemed more plausible that there was another intelligence out there. The fact that I mean, again, it's contact, right? Contact says, there's, billions and billions of stars out there. And if just one out of a million of those had life, and if one out of a million of those had intelligent life, then there would literally be millions of civilizations out there. Millions. So the idea that we're alone would be an awful waste of space, right? If you've seen Contact, you know the scene that I'm talking about. It's absolutely true. The math is baffling. It's just baffling. And the fact that it blows, like I said, it blew my mind when I found out that it takes light. It takes light 8 minutes to come to Earth. Light speed. Super crazy fast, right? But the sun is so far away that it takes 8 minutes to get here. That's crazy. And that every time, it's one of those things that I just love to think about. When you look up in the night sky, you're literally looking back in time. You're seeing that star as it existed however many million light years away it is, or hundreds of light years or whatever. That's mind-blowing. That the solar system is, I can't even fathom how big it is. And yet that's only one star with 8 planets and a little baby chunk of rock out there that used to be a planet, but now it's not, apparently. Anyway, I'm just trying to say, it's amazing. That's amazing to me. And when you start thinking bigger like that, you start to realize You're worried about your cell phone bill? What? Yeah, they overcharged me $5. Okay, dude. I'm over here thinking about, what's beyond Vega, and you're okay. And the thing is you can't belittle that. That's what he's dealing with. That's what that person's dealing with right now. But I like thinking about that stuff, and which is probably why I don't get anything else done. But anyway, you know what? Let's just call it. Let's call it. It's my throat is killing me. We talked a lot tonight. We did a lot of talking. Okay. You sent the vid in Discord. Well, I'm gonna watch that with my face, my whole face. I'm gonna watch that video. Okay. That's my promise to you. But anyway, look. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Week after week, you guys hang out and you do the thing. You're hanging out. I just love it. I love talking to you guys, and I love hearing from you guys. And again, we'll do another hangout thing. Hopefully, we can get some more of you in there. We'll try to figure out when a good time would be. We'll do the thing. We'll hang out, and maybe we'll skip a YouTube stream and we'll just do a Discord hangout. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But look, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks again. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.